Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party and my buddy Rhett, and we are working on my ThreeJS project. It's been a real slow roll, and it's just slowly moving through. I was hoping to be a lot farther along after we've been working on this since the first of the year. We're almost to the very end of the year, and we don't have a whole lot done. So I was trying to work on the CRUD. Basically, it's the create. So yesterday I did an upgrade. I upgraded from 20 to 21. Went smooth, nice and clean, nice and clean. So now we are in Angular 21. I believe Angular 21 was it dropped like 8 days ago, 9 days ago. It's pretty close on because this is 20.0.1. So, and I think that is the point one. The maybe you want a couple of these probably before you actually do two or three. Because I think when they first roll out, a whole bunch of like small issues sort of show, and then they get to fix those little issues. So it's nice to have at least a couple in there, but you don't want to get too far behind. Anyways, so what is this? Oh, I think this is. I never use Edge for this project, but so basically we created this concept, and it was like CRUD. Well, we didn't create the concept. The concept does exist, but basically, we wanted to create, so we ended up having being able to do that and be able to add new items in here, and then we did the create. Oh, and obviously read to be able to read this. So we're doing CRUD. It's create, read, update, and delete. So then we did delete, and I thought I was done. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. I probably actually knew at the time, oh, I'm not done. I have to come back and take care of some stuff. But then we started update, and as we started update, I realized that there's a whole bunch of stuff that I did not even account for. So with delete, so now we've kind of rolled back, and I spent a bunch of time refactoring, trying to get things working, trying to get rid of change all my let's close this. So change all of my interfaces so that we were no longer what we had a ton of, like, let's say visualization has a scene in it, I believe. And so I was actually before ST visualization ID. So let's go to renderer. I think the top thing is the 3 renderer. So like if we go into 3 renderer, basically what I used to have was like a scene, an actual reference to the scene, an actual reference to the camera, and an actual reference to the renderer. But now what I do is I actually have an ID so that it's easier to delete things. Because the problem is when I went to delete memory, I couldn't free up, and memory would just get worse and worse and worse. So it was clear that I had like a memory leak, but I needed to. The reason I had one of the reasons I had a memory leak is because I had gotten into this pattern where I was creating references to objects within other objects, and that is a problem because then if you delete the main object, the other object disappears. I mean, the other it's some other object that's holding a reference to it still has that reference, so the garbage cleaner collector doesn't clean it up. So, anyways, one of the issues that kind of exposed itself once we started down the path of update was this update one, or was that I wasn't recycling IDs. Now, I have worked in plenty of places where we actually would kind of create IDs that we use, and then we would actually get too big. Like we wouldn't be able to, like JavaScript has a limit on how big a number can get, and we would blow by that number. It doesn't seem really feasible at first, but it is actually very feasible, especially in an application like this, where you know hopefully at some point we're going to be mapping out tens of thousands of things, millions of things, and destroying them and rebuilding them as we move. Because as we move from one view to another, we're doing a full destruction of everything. Um, so, anyways, that is where we're at on this right now. Is that when I go here, what I want to see, is that when I delete this guy, and then if I add a new one, that when I come in here, it's recycled all the IDs. See, we created 13 IDs and we didn't, and then we deleted it and we just kept those 13 IDs. So that's not going to be very fun, right? That's just like not interesting at all. But it's something I need to do as part of getting started. And so, and in my mind, I have decades in front of me to work on this. So I'm not like, I would rather build something and have these foundations, right, than have to go. Like last year, I built one. In 2024, I built a similar project, and I got to where I could create really, really useful and interesting 3D visualizations. But the application became completely unstable, and it was almost impossible for me to do any upgrades, any code changes. And there's a lot of reasons for it, but basically, I would like to try to avoid that. So here we go. Trying to figure out, okay, so when I create a new one, when I delete, it's when I delete. When I delete something, I need to recycle the ID, right? So let's just kind of walk through the delete process. That'll be the first step. So the delete process is the only place you can delete at this point is from this view. This is what I call a tabular view, and there's a delete button. So let's go to the tabular view, the tabular layout, and see what happens with the delete button. Probably looking in here first. Okay, so delete does this delete render item, which is a function that's on the delete component, on the tabular layout component. So delete is not its own standalone thing. It's like tightly coupled to the tabular layout, which could be fun. Like I don't want to just over-engineer something just because maybe some point in the future I might want to be able to do delete in many other places. And if I do want to do that, I can't really picture it how I'd want to do it. So, I don't want to paint myself in the corner by making assumptions right now because I clearly don't have enough information to make any good assumptions. I do recognize the fact that there's probably a good chance that delete will at some point need to be sort of teased out of the tabular layout. But one thing that sort of gives me some feeling is that it's only 3 lines of code. So so pulling this out into its own place won't be hard. Secondarily, there's less than 100 lines of code in this, and the vast majority of it is like boilerplate. So well, not the vast majority, but there's a lot of boilerplate. Like we got, I don't know boilerplates, but basically non-static code that doesn't really do anything. Like the first 21 lines of code are literally just imports and stuff like that. And then so like we probably have 30 lines, 25 lines of actual code to understand in this. So here we delete render, we call something called the UI service and deletes render, and then here we call something called the visualization, delete visualization for renderer ID, and that's in a visualization service. Now when I create one, I guess is what I need to maybe. So creating is outside of here, so so it looks like it's something that I get to from the app menu. Possibly the app layout menu. Let's go ahead and take a peek in the app menu and see. Yeah, so we have an add click handler, click viz handler. So this is when something is created. I'm trying to just figure out when we create it, where we note that so that when we delete it, we know to delete it from there, and then recycle recycle the ID. So let's come back. I want to go back to layouts and go to tabular layout. See, so when we delete, we call two things. One is in the UI service, and one is in the visualization service. So possibly, in all likelihood, one of these two, I need to recycle the ID, and it's probably going to be in the same service that I create the ID. So and my guess is that in visualization service is where we create it. So I'm just going to go to that definition and just kind of scroll at the top, because if this is where we create it, it'll probably be the very first. So this thing is getting to, no, we're probably about halfway to where I start to get concerned. So yeah, here's where we create it, and then here's where we generate the ID. So, and then we assign it to, we use this setVis by ST component ID. So we generate this ID, it's our ST visualization ID. And then we use our ST visualization ID right here. And then the component service, we set this visualization, we give it the component that we want to use. And then it looks like ST visualizations is where we push an array of ST visualizations, right? So let's just double check. So this is our visualization. This is where we get our visualization ID. Here's where we add it to some sort of stored shared thing, which is weird because I thought I had them in a dictionary. But it looks like it isn't a dictionary. It looks like this is an array. Right, so this is the array we're going to need to remove it from, and then recycle the ID. So that's a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so now I'm guessing we're already deleting it from this visualizations. So let me do a search on that. So that's reset all visualizations. So when we reset these, we probably should. Is that right? Oh, no, all that does is update the component ID. It just resets all the component, not the visualizations. Find visualization, get visualization for component. So what I'm looking for is wherever I'm assuming there's some point where I delete these visualizations now. Wow, there's 23 of them. What's this one called? Prune visualization by renderer ID. Filter. Okay, here's delete the visualization for renderer ID. So we call this filter, and then all that. So it seems like, okay, so this looks like where we actually delete the visualization for a given renderer ID. And my understanding, I don't think, right, 'cause it's the ST renderer ID. So I think this is probably where we'd also want to, so let's just make sure, let's double check console.log removed ST. We removed, and then I'm going to put a comma and then ST render ID. And I guess there's supposed to be a comma. And I guess where we create it, we should also, like where we generate it, we should also do that. And that is probably the point we want to delete it. And I remember that's at the very beginning. How big is this thing again? It feels huge. It's not nearly as big as it feels, but damn. Alright, so here's where we generate the visualization ID. And then F12. Oop. Oh, okay, let's get rid of that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't even know what's going on with Chrome. Chrome, I don't even know what to think of you. I guess I deleted it. I guess I closed the application there, not. Alright, so basically F12, console, let's go to tabular. Oh, I don't know why we have a, okay, that I don't like. I don't think, oh man. This is crazy. Okay, that is not good. So I remember reading, yeah, that there's something that they changed in the way they changed the routing to be more signal based, and I didn't think it was a big deal because I forgot I actually do routing in here. Add this. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh. I think this might be what we need to work on. So can I hit refresh here? Yeah. Okay, so I'm throwing an error all the time. And you can't even debug. Console bug. And for some reason it's not even showing a console error. So apparently I can add this to the debugger list. I think I don't. I think I want to try to figure this out though. So it's upset. It's saying that result. Yeah, I don't. Oh, so it's saying result not matched. Matched against route. And I don't even really know. Pause on exception, no match. So something isn't matching. Let's see. So Nate, we kind of need to dig in. This sucks. Okay, so I think this is a side effect of something in my something in the upgrade, and I don't know if this is like something that like they're going to fix on their side. You know, like is this something I did? Result first value from matched. Okay, so I don't think this was something that was happening before. It could have been. I wouldn't swear to it, but it's weird because it doesn't give me an actual thing. You like an error. So let's see. Are we gonna every time we change? Yeah. So every time we change routes, it's popping up in here. Okay, so this is not unusual. This doesn't surprise me. It is going to be kind of a time killer. Okay. Oh man, I just don't even know what to do because it's upset about the routing and it's saying that it didn't find a match. And it's throwing a no match exception. So let me see ChatGPT. And what's really annoying is that it doesn't actually put the message in the. This script is on the Duggar. Okay, so it's actually that's weird. Okay, so let's try this again. Or maybe I had something in my console that was filtering. Yeah, I don't have a filter. Yeah, what a pain in the butt. And so what if I don't have? Let's see, let's close that and then change. So we don't get anything, and then if I hit F12, I don't see anything in my console. But if I have the debugger open, it stops match section route. Okay. So this is apparently what we're going to be working on now. So I just did to my Angular project from 20 to 21, and I am seeing and when I have the debugger open, it is breaking. It is breaking on an error in a function. Oh my gosh, function called match segment against route. It runs whenever the router tries to match a URL. Oh my god, I don't understand why it does stuff like that. This usually means Angular isn't actually broken. Because it's most likely the debugger stopping on a pause exception, even if the exception is caught and handled by the router. Angular router throws expected internal errors. Oh, so these are expected during the match process. These look scary, but Angular immediately catches and continues. Okay, so makes it difficult. So difficult to code. The router gets stops because the debugger pops up. Anytime the route changes. So this is, my friends, what we call bleeding edge. That's by the Chrome, not Angular. I'm so not caring about finger pointer. Oh, okay. Okay, so now I think I read it. See, this is much, much more useful. So basically, this, I guess, is like I said in the previous thing, an expected exception. And right now I say, so it catches this exception and then it does some other code. So we don't want to pause on caught exceptions. Okay. Oh. Don't want to pause on caught exceptions. Because they are caught, which means that they are expected. Exactly, okay. So we probably want this off. Okay, and then start. So that was a caught exception. So like when the Angular folks built this thing out, they're like, oh, okay, in this case, we find this exception. This is how we deal with that. Yeah, so that is fixing. So good. That's good. So anyways, I did add some console logs, but they shouldn't have happened yet because add viz. Okay, so generated one, and then delete. Removed one. Yeah, so that feels like where that removed one is where we want to recycle the ID. Because we're no longer using that ID anymore. So this is a clean, nice clean ID. The easiest way to find that line of code is to come in here, open this up. I thought there was two of them, right? Oh, okay, and then hit this. We know it's weird. I guess because I have it so narrow. So this is where we want to do like, oh my gosh, I can't remember. Copying this whole line just so I have it as a reference. I'm very hopeful that this is all I need to do. I feel like I have a really good grip on what this is doing, but you never can tell. Like sometimes you think you have a full grip and then you find out that you don't. So we definitely want to go into the recyclable sequence service. We want to recycle ST renderer ID. We're deleting the visualization for the renderer ID. Well, this just deletes the visualization. This visualizations, is it, you know what, I don't know now. It's not the renderer ID, is that? Okay, so I didn't save, did I? Maybe I did. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's comment that out, because it feels like I want the not the renderer ID, I don't think is what I want to delete. I think I wanted to delete the visualization ID, but we'll see. Okay, so we generated one, delete, removed one. Okay. I guess the renderer ID and the visualization ID are the same thing. Let's go back here. Well, it's the renderer. We create the renderer ID here. Oh wait, this is a visualization ID. Oh, that is not where we create. That is not where we created the renderer ID. This is where we created the visualization ID. Create visualization. We pass in the ST renderer. Okay, so this is to disconnect a visualization from. Okay, so yeah, so I almost screwed up big time there. So it's this. Whoever calls create ST visualization is probably already has a renderer ID. It's when we delete. Okay. So this is just wrong. And I suspect the other one is just wrong too. So I just totally misunderstood what that thing does. All right, let's see where this guy gets called. Gets called from here. So create visualization. This is where we create a visualization. Oh, and yeah, so somehow I've gotten, okay, yeah, I've got myself very confused. Okay, so so this is where we create our visualization. So I got a couple of different things sort of conflated. Go to implementation. Okay, so we are getting the renderer ID. We are generating a visualization ID. So generated new visualization ID. Yeah, I was about to cause a very strange set of bugs there. Okay, so now let's see what we're dealing with. That would have been, man, real freaking brain breaker. Okay, so we created visualization ID number 9. So at the very least, when we delete this, we need to delete visualization ID number 9. I don't think we want to delete the renderer, because the renderer, well, yeah, we actually do want to delete the renderer, but probably not. We definitely need to delete the visualization ID of number 9, but we need to get the visualization to figure out the right one. So this remove number 1, which is on line 472, that is not what we're trying to delete there, because on 472, see, so like in this, we want to get the actual visualization, because all we did was we took all of our visualizations, because this is our visualization service, and we deleted one of them. So we need to clear up that we need to find that visualization ID. So let's do this console.log. Now the visualization is also being deleted. So, but that is not happening here. Now the hard thing about this is that it's not going to show us the right one. So json.stringify. I think I can do that. Visualizations. And this is complex, and this is weird. And it's like one of those things that's, I think it's really super complex, but most people don't realize how complex it is. I mean, if there's one thing us developers are really bad at, is like abstracting away things and then assuming that everything that we've abstracted away is okay. That sucks, because I think, I don't know, everything we abstracted away is gone now. I mean, it's simple, and that's just never the truth. Okay, so okay, so visualizations is already empty at this point. Okay, so getting confused. All right, so we're saying filter it for this ST visualizations. And I'm saying that ST visualization is already empty by the time we've called this, which is really annoying. Let's see where this gets called from. So we need to figure out where this thing's actually, it looks like this code here is not doing anything. Okay, so there's 4 instances, and that was just the continuation. Okay, so that's this thing right here. Delete component for ID. So this is, I go into my ST visualizations, boy, I remember this now. And then we call this, and I'm saying that it's equal. I don't even know. I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay. Oh man. It's kind of like one of those things where it's just like, man. So it's delete component for ID. And I don't even say what kind of ID it is. Okay, F12 and then delete. Delete. And it's already gone, right? ST visualizations are... Yeah, see, it's already empty. Now we have a console log that we created. What? I guess maybe it didn't get called from there. Okay, so I think what we can do is we can look over here and we can look at our... So this got called from here, delete renderer item. So, you know, you have this call stack here, and actually it looks like we were able to, if I remember correctly, yeah, you can. So this happens here. Okay, so that's getting called from the... So when we hit the button, this is what got called. And then we got to here. And then this thing got called, went into here. But we're saying that this ST visualization is already empty. Which I don't quite understand. Ugh. Oh, lordy. All right. So let's kind of go back. I think, okay, let's just hit this, add, delete. This visualization service and ST visualizations is empty. Okay, let's go to the add. In our visualization service, this is where we add it. Same file that we were in. Good. And boom. All right. So now we're going to add it. We get caught up in here. Our ST visualizations should probably be empty. Let's go ahead and delete all these things because they're not really doing us any good. And let's add this.st visualizations to the watch. Okay, so right now it's empty, but I believe when we get to the end of this thing, so we do have one. We have a ST visualizations. It's got an, inside of it, it's got an ID of 25. So we would want to then delete 25 when on that other end, because when we're deleting this ST visualization, but it's already gone. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe ST, yeah. I don't know. Because then when we hit delete here, this is like literally at the component level. So ST visualizations doesn't, I mean, it's not in this, it's part of visualization service. And so when we go visualization service, we see that our ST visualizations is blank, which is really weird. All right, so basically what we're running into here is, hit the little back button, and this is frustrating. Now I see why I needed a break. Okay, well, farther back. All right. Visualizations, ST visualizations. So we know that it gets set, it gets pushed here. Okay, so log. This is where we added visualization, right? Which will have its own visualization ID. And then let's see if we can find where we delete visualization. And I thought we had already figured out that that was. So there's 14 of these. So this just iterates all of them. It might actually delete it. So this gets first stale visualization. So maybe that's deleting it. Let's see, calculate this. All that does is set some values. Okay, this does a mapping to create a hash. I swear all these new tools and stuff for updated true, new visualization are great, but it can make it, you know, like if you do stuff in a weird way, like I guess I've done here, it can be very difficult to, because I cannot figure out where this visualization, because when we hit, it's already gone when we hit that. So when did it go away? And I guess maybe it doesn't even matter. All I need to know is what the ID was so that I can, but I don't, there's no way for me to know what the ID was because it's gone. Well, no, that's not true. Okay, so let's take another step back, see where we are in console logs. Okay, so we're going to add one. Oh, wrong one. So here's where we generated it. It's number 9. Okay, we want to be able to, we want it to get recycled though. Okay, so basically what happens is then when we hit delete, we're here. And we have this and it's gone. The visualization isn't gone. I mean, it's gone, but we don't know. I don't think we have any way of this visualization st renderer ID. So we're saying, hey, delete. We are deleting renderer number 1. And oh, so here's where we're calling delete visualization for renderer ID. So maybe it is in UI service. Maybe I should have looked in there first. Alright, so we'll add one and we will delete one. Alright, so let's see. So this is where we delete our renderer. So we know we want to delete the renderer. I wonder if I bet you we don't even need this second one anymore. I mean, let's try that. Because it kind of seems like it's already gone. It's already been deleted. So it looks like I added some code. Let's see. To do this probably beforehand. So I want to check that really quick. I would never have guessed that this would end up being this difficult of a project. And I really didn't, I should have, like in my personal experience, it's always been this way, but I really should, I'm really shocked at like how just saying, okay, now I'm going to manage multiple renderers. I didn't realize just how much more difficult that was going to make the overall task. But it makes it a lot more difficult. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Basically, all I'm looking to see is does this delete? Seems like it deletes. It doesn't seem like I need that. I guess. Okay. Unit tests I don't think will do me much good, but I do think end-to-end tests might be, npm might be useful here. So npm run Cypress open. So I'm deleting a line of code and I'm trying to determine if that has some side effect of breaking something. And historically, in my entire career, I've never had a end-to-end suite that was full enough and specific enough and optimized enough to be like, oh, okay, if it works through, if everything in this end-to-end suite works, then I didn't accidentally break something. So this is sort of a kind of a move that, like, I think what happened was when I did my last round of unit testing and stuff. I mean, of refactoring. So that was like two back. I think I might have made changes where this line here is no longer necessary. Because it seems like I'm saying, hey, delete something, and that something already is already like not even like it's gone. Yeah, I think all of my newer projects are that I do online, at least, anyways, are going to have Cypress. I think Cypress is just an absolute game changer. I am really starting to like the unit tests too, though. I've definitely moved from the pretty damn sure that they are absolutely useless camp to, these things might be useful. But boy, you better know what you're doing. That is like a tool that, like, if you have, like, you're going to have all kinds of different personalities and types on any given team, and you're going to have some people that, their value is that they bring friction, right? Like, they when you're trying to deliver stuff, they're the ones that are like, oh wait, no, I need to take a quick look. Oh, I don't like the way this one feels. I don't, they bring like a certain friction, so that causes a certain discipline. But those people can get just out of control. And if they get out of control, they can completely bring an application to it, or this one breaks on purpose. They can bring a project to its knees. They can stop all forward progress with their resistance. So it looks like that is an unneeded line of code. And so I want to try a couple other things before. Okay, so basically, let's just see if this delete visualization for render ID. So I'm going to go there, go to definition, and basically, like, literally all this thing does is this, which is already gone. So basically, I just want to comment out the whole thing and see if it's being used some other place. Now, the compiler should determine if there's other places that I've... So it looks like the only place I was using it was here, so I don't even think... Well, maybe there's another place. Okay, so this guy was also calling it. Which is weird, because I think that's just supposed to be a function. Okay, so it does look like I'm calling this in more places than just this, so we probably... It'd have been nice to just be able to delete that altogether, but maybe this is getting called some other place. Okay, let's do this, boom, and then this, and this, and oh, I'm in the wrong. So let's go ahead and just try the delete suite again. Okay. So I do think we can delete. We can leave that coming out. Okay, and I just had brought that down for service.
What?
All right, so probably the next place to look will be in that UI service thing. So I'm leaving that commented out. Don't think we need this anymore. I think that this is needed. So I commented it out. Alright, so now let's look at this UI service delete renderer ID. So this deletes the whole renderer. So okay, so this prune visualizations I think is what's probably actually deleting it. And that is in visualization service too. See, this is in renderer service, this is in visualization service. So let's look at this. Okay, this does not actually delete this, it removes it from the array. Oh, so yeah, right here. So I was actually calling the exact same thing twice. So console. Okay. Delete is for and then up here, I believe this is the right service. I think at the top is where we create the visualization for. So this is where we create a visualization ID. And I think that other place is probably where we need to delete, recycle the visualization, or the visualization ID. For ST visualization ID. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Oh, ST renderer ID. And I believe there's only going to be one visualization ID for any renderer ID. I don't think you can have there's like a DOM element, so DOM element can't be shared across multiple things like that. Where is my browser? Here we go. And F12, console log, and then one, it is generate new, and so then, and now here's where we delete it. Oh, we don't have any console log. Okay. This is where we added it. Okay, where the heck? So back to here. Okay, so this is where the user requests. And put the deleted renderer ID. Or ST renderer ID. So let's just see if we have some sort of cycle, the life cycle mapped out here. Okay, so this is where we generated it. This is where we added it, right? For visualization ID 9. So the goal is for us to delete visualization ID number 9. This is where the user requested the renderer be deleted for 1. Okay, so go in here. Now this thing goes to visualization service, which is a little bit weird for sure. But in the prune visualization service, go to definition. Okay, so this is where the visualization gets log. She loves to play with that little bracelet. This is where the visualization for ST render ID, and then delete. Yeah, okay, so this is where the user, this is where we actually delete it. And then, do we ever, it's so weird. Oh, this is the new, so at this point, we have the render ID, but we don't have the visualization. So the visualization still exists though, right? So and then this time we probably need JSON stringify this dot st. Because this is where it all happens. So I think we need to, this is probably where we'll have to say recycle, determine what the visualization ID was and recycle it. I'm guessing, I think. F12, add viz, and then delete viz. Yep, so we have our visualization ID. There's only one in there, so, and it was visualization ID. This is the point where the visualization is deleted, so its ID needs, inside of prune is where it is deleted, right? No, this is just where we get it. So this gets the filter, this gets all the new visualizations, and then it overwrites that, so okay, so this is where the visualization is deleted. So we need to recycle the ID, visualization ID. This is going to be the hardest one, I think. I think basically we're going to run into the exact same problem wanting when, you know, for the visualization itself and for the mesh itself and for all the different pieces, we're going to have to go through and wherever they're getting deleted, and it's good that they're getting deleted because they weren't getting deleted before. Now they're getting deleted, but when they get deleted, to recycle the ID. And if we get them all right, then as a side effect, when we go from into update mode, it will delete. I mean, it will be one again when you create the new one. I think we're going to be playing around with these sorts of internals and trying to keep all the IDs and all that tracked. And it's super important that we do this because once we start trying to import and export things, these IDs are going to be like critical towards figuring out, oh, are we creating something new? Are we reusing something? So I think, I'm not 100% sure on that. So delete. And then, yeah. See, at this point it's pretty easy because there's only one thing in the thing, but what we're going to have to do is get it back out, find out what the visualization ID is, because we know the renderer ID. but we don't know see, we know the renderer ID, so we know that, but we don't have the mapping to the visualization ID. So we just need to get the actual visualization back, get a local reference to it, not a this reference, like not a component level reference, but a local reference to it, or service level reference, and then determine what the visualization ID is, and then call the recycle and recycle that ID. So I'm sure at some point in the future it's going to be like, damn it, I have things that already have that. But see, we need to recycle. See, when we delete this renderer, we need to recycle 1, we need to recycle 8, and we need to recycle 9. And then I'm pretty sure that these are somehow tied to the meshes and the animations and stuff like that, and those all have IDs too, so those all need to be recycled. And you know that is the case because when you hit this and then you go into here, like we're 8 in, right? We already have a whole bunch already made, and the new visualization ID is 17. So anyways, that is that. Tomorrow we will continue on this path. I know it's not very much fun. It's definitely, it would be way more fun to work on trying to figure out why the aspect ratio is the same, and it would be a lot more fun to add some functionality to show this in its real size versus full size, and then it would be a million times more fun to work on. And we could, right now we could work on changing this to a sphere, or changing it to whatever we want to change it to, and stuff like that, and adding materials and adding lights and stuff like that. But this basic foundational stuff is just like, I'm just stuck on that. You know, I definitely felt like I'm in that movie Hellraisers, where I've got the puzzle box that I just can't get through. But I'm confident that it looks like stuff that doesn't matter, but I think it really does matter. I think it would be a poison pill to this application, to sort of gloss by this issue. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.